Welcome to Waco, George W. Bush Little League Leadership Training Center as we get set for an elimination game. Neighbors, Mississippi, Louisiana, Vicksburg, Mississippi against River Ridge, Louisiana. It is win and stay alive. Already one team in the championship contest. You see at the bottom tomorrow at noon, Texas West will play for a spot in Portland. Winner of this one will play this evening against Texas East. Winner of that goes to tomorrow's championship. Thank you so much for joining us. Tyler Denning alongside Amanda Scarborough. And Amanda, both these teams playing with their backs against the wall. For Louisiana, coming off their loss, they play Colorado. The offense fired up. They have to be fired up with the way that they hit against Colorado, bringing a lot of offensive confidence into this game because of the fact that they just got done with a game that they scored 15 runs, but all started back in the first game. A slow start for them. They were very quiet in their first two innings, but after that, they really turned it on. They've had 20 hits, scored 19 runs. Everybody getting in the action, including Ava Burkett, who's leading their team in hits in this tournament. Kira Manganello, Haley Peterson has been on fire, their leadoff hitter. So they're really hitting their offensive stride right at the right time when they need it the most in an elimination game. Scored 15 in that run rule victory over Colorado to book their spot in this matchup. As for Mississippi, really one of the most exciting, thrilling games we've ever seen here at the Southwest Regional. So much fight from both teams. Mississippi went in against the New Mexico team, who showed a lot of fight in themselves. In fact, it was New Mexico who scored first, and Mississippi was trailing basically the entire game, but Jen Smith came up later in the game and hit an inside the park home run that ignited the offense. They would bring that offense into the later innings, including the bottom of the sixth inning. This infield single with hustle from Mary Evelyn Hosley tied the game. Then we went to extras. In the bottom of the seventh inning, Sarah Cameron Fancher stepped up with a runner at second base, 2 outs to get the game-winning RBI to send her team and her season for another day. Tiniest player on the Mississippi roster, biggest heart as they trailed 4-0 down to their final strike, final out in 2 innings to book their spot in this game. Well, Vicksburg, Mississippi, right next to Louisiana, only separated by the wide Mississippi River population, just under 23,000. Let's get to meet the group from the Vicksburg All-Stars.
Hi, my name is Mike Foley. I'm the manager for the Vicksburg, Mississippi Little League All-Stars, and here is my team.
Hi, Stan Morgan, assistant coach. Mac Foley, assistant coach.
I am Michaela Jackson, and I play catcher in outfield, and my favorite color is blue.
I'm Reagan Thornell. I play outfield, and my favorite color is purple.
My name is Marley Buffkin. I play outfield, and my favorite athlete is Shea Knighton.
I'm Lexi Kistler. I play pitcher in first, and my favorite rapper is Cardi B.
I'm Sarah Cameron Fancher, and I play shortstop, and my favorite sport is softball.
I'm Callie Cooper. I play second, pitcher, and outfield, and my favorite sport is softball.
I'm Cameron Morrison. I play third, and my favorite video game is Fortnite.
I'm Jill Smith. I play shortstop and third, and my favorite food is spaghetti.
I'm Jen Smith. I play catcher and outfield, and my favorite team is Alabama.
I'm Kaylee Carroll. I play second and outfield, and my favorite team is Mississippi State.
I'm Mary Evelyn Hosley. I'm a pitcher and a first baseman, and my favorite video game is Fortnite.
My name is Abigail Morgan. I play pitcher. My favorite video game is Fortnite.
In the circle, it will be Haley Peterson for Louisiana. She's thrown 1 inning, just 11 pitches for Red Rage, as she will get the start for Louisiana to try to win and advance against Texas East. Mississippi coming off that thrilling victory. Both teams fighting with their backs against the wall as they have the last 2 days.
Yeah, for Louisiana, we've seen 4 different pitchers in the circle for them. 4 arms have gotten some action. Haley Peterson has found the strike zone. She throws pretty hard. Good athlete out there, too. She also plays the middle infield, and she's our leadoff hitter.
Mary Evelyn Hosley start things off for Vicksburg. Jill Smith, Jen Smith, the twin sisters, Cameron Morrison, Morgan Fancher, Jackson, Carroll, and Cooper. The starting lineup for Vicksburg. That one ripped up third base line. That's the glove of Lauren Mounts. Extra bases for Mary Evelyn Hosley. Could be inside the park. Rounding coming home, and inside the park, home run.
went away to start this game. Mississippi just continuing to bring that fight that they showed against New Mexico into this game. Mary Evelyn Hostley turns on a pitch and just hits a line drive right past Lauren Mounds, who's playing up the line because Hostley has some speed. She has to defend the bunt and worry about it as well, and it gets past her. And also Katie DeLotte out there, the last line of defense. And once it gets past DeLotte, Mary Evelyn Hostley is just going to keep running the bases and make a left turn 3 times to score.
Saw the inside the park home run from her teammate in yesterday's ball game, but gets on, runs around, completes the trip to plate the first run of the ball game. Jill Smith dreams of being a veterinarian.
It's a really big lead for Mississippi to come out and get right away because their ace, their #1 pitcher, Abby Morgan, is going to be unavailable in the circle today, so their offense is really going to have to step up. And what better way than to score first?
Abby Morgan with 17 innings pitched, by far the most from any pitcher, but also 23 strikeouts. She will play, just not in the circle, as the max amount of innings per pitcher per day is 12, but she also crossed that 7-inning threshold in that extra inning contest as Smith sits down, first strikeout for Peterson.
Jill Smith has shown a lot of patience in the Southwest Regionals so far, and Haley Peterson, if there was a lot of strikes, was able to get ahead and get that looking strikeout.
Now Jen. Jen, the younger of the two sisters. Out into foul territory up the right field line. Heidi Scully with the effort. Just past the outstretched glove. One pitch, chop foul. Mississippi did play the earlier game yesterday. Louisiana winning in the afternoon session, but just over an hour. It was a very short game in beating Colorado. That's Sarah Cameron Fancher, the hero in the extra innings victory.
She had those same shades on whenever she got that game-winning hit. It's going to be a long day for whoever wins this game. They're going to have to play back-to-back games, and Texas East awaits them.
Texas East falling 5-1 to rival Texas West in the game earlier today. Texas West on to the championship game. Count 2-2. Ball 3.
You can see that Haley Peterson's going down to the dirt, putting it in her hand. The ball may be slipping out a little bit. It's so hot, your palms start to sweat. The sweat from even your forearm drips down into your hand.
Payoff pitch in for a strike to get her looking. Back-to-back strikeouts looking of the Smith sisters by Peterson.
Really good adjustment by Haley Peterson. She had been missing low. She was able to make the adjustment to find the top of the strike zone right at the letters for back-to-back looking strikeouts with that fastball.
Cameron Morgan.
There's a difference between playing early on and later in the afternoon. 10 degrees. It's much cooler this morning with the cloud cover, but that usually burning off here in Central Texas. We've seen throughout the days and years that we've been coming up here to Waco. Last 2 years that we have crowned a champion, they've gone on to win the whole thing in a much cooler Portland, Oregon. become the title of world champion. 9 other teams will join the Southwest Regional representative. Cameron Morrison. 5 hits, a team high. For Mississippi, is that a strikeout? So after the inside the park home run, 3 strikeouts from Peterson, 1-0 the advantage for Mississippi.
When you rent a car on Turo, you're renting from a real person. No shuttle rides, no waiting in line, and no wandering a car lot. This is better than your typical car rental. This is Turo. Download the app today.
Told you we should have gone Schlotzsky's.
Schlotzsky's. Go with your gut. Official sandwich of the Texas Longhorns.
I can't believe they charged me this much. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Go to CashNetUSA.com now. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow.
Thanks. Who are you?
I'm CashNetUSA.com. Man.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Remember your first throw, your first try, your first team. It all starts with T. Little League T-Ball. Find your league now at playlittleleague.org.
1-0 ball game after the inside the park home run by Mary Evelyn Hossley. Well, the group from Louisiana, hailing from River Ridge. It's in Jefferson Parish, a suburb of New Orleans. Population just over 13,524 miles from Waco, Texas. Let's meet the gang that made the drive over.
Hi, I'm Ray Windell, manager at Eastbank Little League, and this is my team.
Sally Morrow, assistant coach.
Tony Mounts, assistant coach.
I'm Olivia Ionetta, and I play center field, and I want to be a firefighter when I grow up.
I'm Heidi Scully. I play right field, and my favorite color is blue.
I'm Damari Harris. I play pitcher and first, and my favorite actor is Ian Somerhalder.
I'm Ava Burkett. I play shortstop and third base, and my favorite team is Florida Gators.
I'm Bailey Nelson. I play catcher and outfield, and my favorite athlete is Holly Hoover.
I'm Von Villian. I play first base, and my favorite athlete is Yadier Molina.
I'm Katie Delatte. I play second and outfield, and my dream job is a physical therapist.
My name is Lauren Mounts. I'm a pitcher, and I want to be an anesthesiologist.
I'm Reagan Porsche. I play second base, and my favorite movie is Jaws.
I'm Rachel Newlett. I play second outfield, and I want to be a neonatal nurse when I grow up.
Hi, my name is Kira Manganello, and I play catcher and shortstop, and my favorite athlete is Jose Altuve.
I'm Emma Ruddy. I pitch run, play the outfield, and my favorite team is the LSU Tigers.
I'm Kayla Jardina. I play pitcher, and my favorite TV show is Big Brother.
That group has been here the last 3 consecutive years. Only 2 of those players, though, with last year's team. Kylie Cooper will get the start in the circle for Mississippi. This is the first game started for any pitcher other than Abby Morgan. Kylie Cooper did pitch an inning, but just 14 total pitches thus far here in Waco.
Her favorite athlete is Caitlin Lee, who just got done with her career at Ole Miss. Maybe she can channel that Caitlin Lee energy and spunk and bring into this game.
Well, so Louisiana team that, as we mentioned top of the show, lost 10-4 to Texas West. Starts with Haley Peterson at the top, then Ionetta, Manganello, and Lauren Mounts. But then against Colorado, came out, scored 10 in the first frame, 5 in the second for the run rule victory. They admitted a little bit of nerves, albeit their 3rd year in a row being here. Just 2 players in Mounts and Manganello that were on last year's team. But they look to have overcome the nerves. Strike in from Kylie Cooper.
3-1.
That ball in play into left field. Kylie Carroll can't get there in time, so a leadoff base hit
I really like, though, the transition between Smith and Carroll out there. Smith got out of the way. Carroll called it. She just wasn't quite able to get to it. But the movement defensively with how they shifted for that was right on.
We've seen a defensive change. It was Sarah Cameron Fancher that's been playing shortstop for Mississippi. Jill Smith over there. Now bunt laid down, brings in Kylie Cooper. First base not being covered, so nowhere to go with the throw. Both runners safe. 2 on now for Louisiana.
Sarah Cameron Fancher, who usually we've seen play shortstop whenever Abby Morgan has been pitching, actually moved over to second base. So you'll see her right here. And on a bunt, she's going to want to cover first base, but instead she heads over to second base because this is a new position for her really for this week. Just kind of a mental error for a new position there by Fancher.
Kira Manganello cuts it. The first offering. Manganello was the hero game-winning RBI that got them to the state championship game, having to win at the state level prior to getting here to the regional level. She can do backflips.
0-1.
Eastbank Little League, which you see on their jerseys. They got to host in River Ridge as Manganello laces this out to left and into the glove of Carroll. Both runners remain on their bases.
It's a hard hit that just went right to Carroll out there in left field. She did a nice job of capturing that out. That's an important one. You can see Manganello all fired up. You can't hit it any better than that, but that's just our game. Sometimes the ones that you don't hit very well are going to fall, and sometimes the ones that you hit the best are going to go right into a glove.
Adam Ball's right.
Right.
Oh.
Lauren Mounts, also one of the leaders. Big reason that Louisiana back here. She's been coming since 10 years old. We've seen Lauren Mounts grow up right before our very eyes. Out in the circle. Started as just a small player. The big reason they're here in terms of striking out 17 of 18 batters to get to the state championship game. Coach Windell and Moreau and Mounts saying that maybe a year early with this group, but Mounts and Manganello, the big reason why they got back through their state and here to Waco. This ripped up the first baseline, knocked down by Hosley.
Louisiana continued to hit the ball hard, but Mississippi just playing some defense, and it's hit right at Mary Evelyn Hosley, and this is a hard hit ball, especially, think about it, it's a left-handed hitter. With the first baseman over there, it's towards the pool side. It's basically, she becomes like a third baseman. A good play by Sarah Cameron Fancher to back her up.
Now Lynn Bonvillian with 2 runners in scoring position. Underneath this, a chance to get out of the inning for Mississippi. The grab made by Abby Morgan over at third, so 2 on. They stay there for Louisiana. Mississippi up 1 as we head to the second.
You ready? Let's do this. Pull! Pull!
That is a nice shooting coat. All right, ship you up now.
Huh? Pull. Shipley. Ship, you all right?
After earning a degree in aerospace engineering, she joined the U.S. Air Force in 1992. When the military ended restrictions on women flying in combat, she became the first to take advantage.
And I said, well, I don't want the attention, but I want to fly fighters more than anything.
With over 3,000 flight hours, she became a brigadier general and the first woman to command the 57th Wing of the Air Force. Jeannie Leavitt. She's a Longhorn legend.
No clock in baseball, they say, but time is ticking away. A sense of urgency in the air whenever these teams meet. Amplified, intensified, the rivalry and the pennant race heating up together. Passion soaring, tempers flaring, hitters mashing, aces dealing, moments of consequence, games that just mean a little bit more. Can you feel it? Sunday Night Baseball Cubs-Cardinals tomorrow at 8 on ESPN. Telecast presented by Taco Bell.
Well, Abigail Morgan been a huge reason why Mississippi able to log their first win ever at the Southwest Regional as a state and also play their way into this contest. 23 strikeouts, no walks. Can't see her in the circle, but she's been huge for this team.
Yeah, she's pitched the most innings at the Southwest Regional, and she's just been so smooth. Great mechanics, a lot of strikeouts. But what I love to see is that this young pitcher didn't give up any walks. She is so efficient, has such good command, and really has given her all for this team in this regional.
Has no hits across 6 at-bats. Would be available to pitch tomorrow were Mississippi to advance out of the play today. That would require a win here and a win against Texas East. It's because of that 7+ innings pitched, 1 calendar day. So this is the day she must rest that arm. Peterson back out into the circle for Louisiana. Abigail Morgan, the youngest of 7. Here with Dad Stan, one of the coaches for Mississippi.
Yeah, you think about it, Tyler, they wouldn't have even had to be in this situation had they not gone to extra innings with New Mexico. But it was because they had that 1 extra inning. It took them 7 innings to win that game that she pitched exactly 7, unavailable to be pitching today.
Count 0-2.
And you think about, too, what Texas East did with utilizing Carly Mathis. She didn't pitch in Game 1 against Texas West, so that she'll be available to pitch in the elimination game today. And then if Texas East does indeed win, she would be able to go to the championship game and pitch then, too, if she pitches less than 7 innings tonight.
Always something so big at this level, managing the young arms and having a deep staff. This out into right field. Scully slides the glove under to make the catch.
Whatever it takes, Tyler, you got to make these defensive outs. Every single out is so critical in a game like this, an elimination game. You don't want to give any extra base runners to be on base, especially with the leadoff hitter. But Heidi Scully coming and getting underneath this one. Good job to keep that one from hitting the grass.
So now Sarah Cameron Fancher, the hero from yesterday's ball game in the bottom of the 7th inning, stepping up to the plate. Sending one right back up the middle. It was a beautiful piece of hitting. About chest high that she got the bat out.
Thank you.
Brought Abby Morgan home and brought Mississippi one step further in this tournament. Smallest player on the team, but always one screaming the loudest, and lots of heart for Sarah Cameron Fancher. This ball sent up the first base line. Play made by Bonvillian for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down.
Haley Peterson's done a great job of coming back after giving up that inside the park home run back in the top of the 1st inning, because then after that she struck out the next 3 hitters that she faced, and then 2 quick outs so far in the 2nd.
The catcher, number 00.
Louisiana and Mississippi have met only once in the Southwest Regional. Louisiana won 19-5, that way back in 2003. Mentioned for Mississippi, their first win in Southwest Regional history. They had come in 2003 and 2004, but between then and this year electing to not send a representative for the state. But this group getting together.
0-1.
And the coaching staff seeing games on television years past, wanting to place a team out here in Waco with the opportunity. They put it together, did staff, and now they are here. 1 win under their belt. Another yesterday. That one drops in. 2-out hit for Michaela Jackson.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting how, they formed this team, transferred over to be sanctioned by Little League, and they wanted in on the action come the summertime with the TV exposure, and they wanted to grow Little League in the state of Mississippi. And with this coverage, hopes that there will be more leagues that turn into Little League leagues and continue to grow the sport.
That also was one of the interesting things that we had talked about for this Mississippi team. Hadn't played a game as a collective unit against an opponent. They played scrimmages and tried to get some work in through June coming in here to Waco. But in terms of seeing opposition in a different jersey, stakes on the line, did not have that state championship. But coach is saying that this is a great group that has good chemistry. They know one another. A lot of them go to school together. They held an open tryout to get Vicksburg All-Stars, as you see across the front of the jersey. Strike in from Peterson.
0-2.
Kaylee Carroll had a really big grab in the first inning out there in left field. Manganello with 2 on. Run-saving catch.
Right.
0-2-2 down Jackson. Over on first after her single.
Yeah, this is one of the smaller teams of the regional. I think between Mississippi and Colorado, the smaller teams that have been here in Waco. But the fight that this Mississippi team, I want to say Mississippi State every time, but this Mississippi team has shown. I know, every time.
I've thought about it before, too. It just rolls off the tongue.
It's been really fun to watch these smaller statured players put up great ABs.
0-2. In for a strike, 4th strikeout for Peterson. She's got Mississippi up 1-0.
Haley Peterson just using that inside corner with her fastball. We've seen her have 4 strikeouts, and 3 of them have been looking.
You're watching the Longhorn Network. Hook 'em.
Welcome to your hometown Whataburger.
#1 coming up.
This is the heart of Whataburger. We make sure that customer gets their order hot and fresh.
It's got to be hot and fresh. It's Whataburger.
I got the #2 Whataburger double, and I got bacon on it as well because everyone loves bacon.
And the mustard. You can't forget that.
Tomato and lettuce all the time is fresh. They gave me a hot and fresh burger, and they gave it to me the way I like it. So I'm happy.
Your hometown Whataburger. Serving it hot and fresh all day, every day.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call 800-614-8417.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks, destroying CPAP germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Call now, 800-614-8417. Or visit SoClean.com today.
10 teams will advance to Portland, Oregon. For us, our piece goes right here, the Southwest Regional. 2 others still to be determined from the United States, Central and Southeast, but teams from already the Philippines, Mexico as well. You see Ohio represented the Central region, Oregon as well, always getting District 4 into the tournament. Amanda, you will be there.
Can't wait.
Favorite part of Portland, other than crowning the champion?
It's got to be probably the ice cream.
But you haven't had the ice cream yet.
I know, but I'm determined to this year. And the fans. I love the sound of the fans and the emotion. I love all of that part of fighting for every single game.
Team from the Czech Republic, the Northwest Czech Republic, Prague. Group representing Europe, Africa. It's an international experience in Portland for the Little League Softball World Series. Batter Ava Burkett for Louisiana puts it on the ground and able to leg it out to first.
Needs to be a little bit better communication between Kylie Cooper, the pitcher, and Michaela Jackson, the catcher, because they're both going to go for this ball. And believe me, it has a lot of spin because it was hit off the very end of the bat. So it's spinning like crazy towards Kylie Cooper. If I were communicating between the two, I'd want Michaela Jackson to take that ball because she does have the better angle, but needed Kylie Cooper to be out of the way.
Scoring decision in air. Amanda, that's also why I rarely telestrate. My lines are not as straight as the ones you draw.
Yeah, no, I struggle with circles is my thing. I'm not a very good circle drawer.
Heidi Scully, the youngest of 7.
Yeah, no, I did. I was pretty good at that, but I had to like really...
Started out with ball 1.
Oh. Two. Oh.
Scully takes the ball. Jackson
3.
checking the runner, Burkett. Do you hear the chant?
Oh, I hear them.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, they're really good chants. We used to do chants out on defense back when I played on the Crickets.
Ooh. Would you chirp?
No, there was no chirping.
Scully puts that to short, bounces off the glove of Jill Smith. So 2 on for Louisiana.
It's a good little rally. Going, just putting the ball in play, and of course Heidi Scully just making good contact just over the head of Jill Smith. She would have had to time it up perfectly, tried to get her glove up there as she's moving back, but couldn't quite come away with it. Louisiana, a rally.
So base hit for Heidi Scully. Reagan Porsche lay down the bunt, brings in Cooper to make the throw, stretching out Sarah Cameron Fancher, gloves it down to keep it in the infield, but all runners will be safe. A bases loaded opportunity for Louisiana.
There's a force hit third base and a well-executed bunt put down by Reagan Porsche. I mean, that was just well-executed textbook. Kylie Cooper is all over it. She puts it down. Kylie Cooper grabs it. I would have liked to have seen some communication to go to third base here because I think she would have been able to get her instead of having to make that long throw to first base. But this team has not played, we mentioned it before, played together very many games at all, and that comes from experience and just knowing each other and each other's arm strengths, being able to be loud.
When you'd also mentioned it, the adjustments that they've had to make defensively with Abby Morgan unable to pitch, so shifting her over from the circle to third and Sarah Cameron Fancher from short to second.
Yeah.
So at least for us, a new look defensively that we have seen from this Mississippi group. So the bunt single from Porsche loads the bases for Katie DeLotte. She'd like to meet Taylor Swift. You'd like to meet Taylor Swift, maybe? Outside.
Yeah, that bunt was just put down perfectly by Reagan Porsche, just down the third base line.
Maybe she was checking out the diamond demos that one Amanda Scarborough has done. This popped up. The pitcher, Kylie Cooper, looked to take it. The ball dropped. The force would be at home.
Yeah, it's an infield fly,
right.
So the batter is out anyway. The parents are just getting a little restless in the stands. Everybody doesn't quite know the infield fly rule, I don't think. But the runners did a nice job. The Louisiana base runners did a good job of just staying put.
Everybody coaching from the seats. Piping up, so one down. Everybody holds. Burkett, Scully, Porsche, third through first. Top of the order, Haley Peterson now.
Yeah, that's what I call a false alarm.
A lot of noise.
Yeah, a lot of noise. Haley Peterson up to bat now just takes such a big hack. She swings so hard every single swing. That's even what Coach Weindell told us about her. Sometimes a little bit too big, but she hits the ball hard.
Looping foul ball on that swing. Peterson a single, first time up.
0-2.
It's 5 for 8 in the regional, 1 run batted in. Chance to either tie or go ahead here. This on the ground. The force will be at home. Morgan makes the throw, but it is low. So one crossing in Burkett, a second coming across, as well as Scully scores. Louisiana into the lead.
Just a really unfortunate error here by Abby Morgan. Had a lot of time to make this play, to make this throw to her catcher, Michaela Jackson. She fields it cleanly, perfect, even has to backhand it, but almost forces the throw to be a little bit low. Michaela Jackson gives her best effort to catch it and keep her foot on home plate for the force out. A good base running by Heidi Scully to see that ball down and score the second run.
So the air charge to Morgan. Damari Harris will be the batter. Seen her come off the bench for Louisiana, pitch a little bit, hit as well. The young lady who is 5'5", diagnosed with scoliosis, had the rod put into her back and is sprouted up. Stands at 6 feet tall, hopes to get even taller than that. That fouled back.
Just a really good athlete. We've seen her pitch and look really smooth on the pitching rubber, as well as get a couple of hits for this Louisiana team.
Has two, both singles. 2 runs batted in, has scored 2 runs as well. 0-2 pitch. This one ripped, but foul. Just bounced over the third base bag.
Oh, 2, play.
Takes the pitch low and inside. "14 players on this Louisiana roster, so everyone does get at least 1 plate appearance. This laced in, that'll bring home at least 1 run. Second runner being waved. Damari Harris delivering 2 RBI as Porsche and Peterson score. Louisiana 4 in the inning.
That's the way to do it, Damari Harris. Coming out with 2 runners in scoring position. Your job as a hitter, get that ball to the green. Good base running by Haley Peterson to score all the way from second base. Just a pretty line drive. That is a smooth swing, very level swing to push 2 runs across. Another hit for Damari Harris.
Play.
Kira Manganello ripped the ball to left field, but the grab made by Kaylee Carroll that saved runs back in the first. It's 2 for 6 in the regional, 3 runs batted in. Harris in scoring position. He sent up the left side, that out into left field. Harris being waved home. Will cross for the 5th run of the inning. Manganello into second, standing up.
Yeah, Kira's going to go ahead and switch places with Damari Harris. A couple of back-to-back doubles, and Louisiana in this inning is just rolling. Got their leadoff hitter on base and haven't looked back. 5 runs in this inning.
Just 1 out as Lauren Mounts watches that ball across. Two for 6 in the regional is Mounts.
Oh!
Dad Tony has been with her the last 3 years, but this year a little different. Tony joining the coaching staff and bringing with him that prowess as former Major League call-up. Played for the Rangers in 2003, also played overseas. Handful of years in the minors. Fun experience for the two, but he doesn't actually coach his daughter when she pitches, as we've seen. Although does try to give her some wisdom. Not during the game. It's Sally Moreau, the other assistant coach. She handles the pitching. It's a collective effort. This trio of coaches. There's Sally. Gotten to talk with her over the last 3 years. Such a great dynamic between the 3 Louisiana coaches. They rib on one another. Ray Windell as well. They're a group that has some personality. Really established their program in the state. To be crowned State champs, 3 years running, come down here to Waco. 2-2 pitch.
Ball.
Well high for ball 3.
3-2. Ball.
Nice looks at ball 4.
Water break. Let's get a water break. Bailey Nelson. Go ahead, catcher.
Catcher wants a water break. Michaela Jackson. These umpires doing a good job. Everybody making sure that these young athletes stay well hydrated in this hot Central Texas sun.
You know, we talked about that offensive confidence that Louisiana would have coming into this game based off of what they did against Colorado and trying to bring that confidence into this inning. And quickly scoring 5 runs. And look, they still have 2 runners on the corners and less than 2 outs.
Actually heard Ray Windell. Nice enough to wear a microphone.
Up there, put your best swings up there. Stop throwing our hands at the ball hoping it hits the bat. Your best swings, hit the ball hard. Good things happen when we hit it hard.
So there's the bunt. That was Reagan Porsche.
Put the ball in play and a little bit of help from the Mississippi defense, but they've also hit the ball hard in this inning. Good execution that they've shown.
3 singles from Heidi Scully, Damari Harris that brought in 2 runs, and then Manganello as well. As the message delivered and received from Windell to his young team. Alan Bonvillian sends that out the left field line, and a nice play made by Jill Smith coming over from short to make the grab in foul territory for 2nd out. Runner Mounts does tag up and head to 2nd, so.
Time's called.
Now batting. Shortstop number 6.
2 still in scoring position. Whole side is hit. 9 have been up for Louisiana.
Play.
Ava Burkett started this 2nd inning off with an error that she reached. It's underneath that ball, out into center field, off the glove of Jen Smith, so that will allow the bases to clear. Burkett stops at 2nd. It's scoring Manganello and Lauren Mounts. Louisiana now 7 in the inning.
The ball must look so big to Ava Burkett out there. Her 6th hit of the Southwest Regional. She's got a little bit of pop behind her swing, too.
Just batter, step out for me, batter. Time's called.
Number 33, Kayla Giardina.
Kayla Giardina.
Play.
Coming in to take her first cuts, the spot of Heidi Scully. Sends the first one to short, bounces off the foot of Jill Smith. Runner being waved, so crossing the plate. Burkett from 2nd, make it 8 in the inning for Eastbank.
Time's called.
Another hard cut by Giardina coming in, seeing what her teammates are doing, barreling up this ball. And Jill Smith trying to backhand that, but not coming away with it. Another run's going to score.
Ready.
Possible pitching change coming in the circle for Mississippi. Looks like Sarah Cameron Fancher. will step in to the circle for Vicksburg. Louisiana, 8 runs in the inning, 2 out with 1 on. When we come back, new pitcher.
When you rent a car on Turo, you're renting from a real person. No shuttle rides, no waiting in line, and no wandering a car lot. This is your rental counter. And this is you, already on the road. With Turo, this is compact, standard, and full size. This is better than your typical car rental. This is Turo. Download the app today.
Sarah Cameron Fancher was the hero yesterday. Base runner on, Morgan at second, and she wins the ball game. It's quick action for Fancher, delivering the pitch to Emma Ruddy. So apologies there. They were going, and Emma Ruddy lays down the bunt and gets on to first. She was ready to go.
More good execution by Louisiana down the third baseline, really testing Abby Morgan.
Wow.
Rachel Newlett inserted to take her first at bat. Comes in the 9 hole for Katie DeLotte. Newlett has 1 hit, 3 plate appearances. This number 4, that one short from Cameron Fancher. Runner will advance. Ruddy over to second, stealing the base.
2-0.
Newlett, a fan of Sandlot. 13 years old.
Oh!
It's nice to see 13-year-old players still watching Sandlot. That's a childhood classic.
Oh, yeah, classic.
The Beast.
Okay.
Count 2-1. 2 down, 2 runners on. Scully over at third, Ruddy at second. Louisiana, all 8 runs have come here in the second inning. Flipped out to right, bounces in front of Cameron Morrison. So that brings home Scully. Ruddy scoring as well, advancing.
Stay, Rachel!
Is Rachel Newlett to second.
Newlett did such a good job of letting this ball travel. It's a pitch that's on the outside corner, but you saw her mid-pitch, like pull her hands back and keep them back to drive it the other way. Front shoulder stays in. Lets it get to her and is able to use the right side of the field.
Back to the top of the order. Second at bat of the inning for Peterson. That ball is in play. Runner being waved. Newlett coming home to score. Peterson with an RBI to make it now 11-1 Louisiana.
Those fast hands that I was talking about with Haley Peterson, she swings big. She gets her hands to the ball just so quickly, and oftentimes will utilize the left side of the field and pull pitches.
Olivia Ionetta cuts at the first pitch, sent foul. Ionetta had a bunt single.
Oh, 1. Play. Time. Play. Ball.
Ionetta onto the ground to short. Jill Smith keeps it in the infield, but the runners will be safe on the corners for
time.
Louisiana. Time called.
Don't throw it. Don't throw it. Don't throw it. Don't throw it.
Catcher number 27, Kira Manganello.
Kira Manganello will now be the batter for Eastbank.
Play.
Brenner going for second.
Well. Time.
Ready? Kira saying her role models, her older sister Raven would like to meet Jose Altuve one day. If she won the lottery, would help those folks in need. Love to go to the Bahamas. The coolest place she has traveled thus far is New York City. Two returning players. It's Manganello for this Louisiana squad. Ball bounces up. That allows one run to cross in Peterson. Advancing is Ionetta.
Three, one. 3-1.
Oh. That ball 4.
Go, Warren.
Well, Little League Softball provides community softball opportunities for female athletes to engage in a fun, competitive environment. Catch the excitement of the Little League World Series softball tournaments or find a Little League softball program in your neighborhood by visiting littleleague.org. Cross for a strike from Sarah Cameron Fancher.
Try! 0-2.
0-2, 2 down, 2 on.
Oh.
It's out for a ball. For this result to hold and Louisiana emerge victorious and play on to face off against Texas East. Both of those teams returners from last year's tournament. They faced off in the opening game, and Louisiana had a 4-run come from behind victory, 5-4 to send Texas East into the bottom half of the bracket. East emerging out of there, the ball bouncing and 1 run across.
Time. Two. Play.
Saw Louisiana score 10 in the first against Colorado yesterday and then 5 in the second. Third strike is dropped but thrown down to first. Louisiana plating 13 in this. 9 hits for Eastbank. Little League, they have fired it up to pace themselves to an early advantage.
Welcome to your hometown Whataburger.
#1 coming up.
This is the heart of Whataburger. We make sure that customer gets their order hot and fresh.
It's gotta be hot and fresh. It's Whataburger.
I got the #2 Whataburger double, and I got bacon on it as well, because everyone loves bacon.
And the mustard. You can't forget that.
Tomato and lettuce all the time is fresh. They gave me a hot and fresh burger, and they gave it to me the way I like it. So I'm happy.
Your hometown Whataburger. Serving it hot and fresh all day, every day.
When you rent a car on Turo, you're renting from a real person. No shuttle rides, no waiting in line, and no wandering a car lot. This is better than your typical car rental. This is Turo. Download the app today.
From the first pitch to the final swing, we are a team. The most valuable player doesn't always wear a uniform.
Thank you.
Everyone has a position. Everyone makes a difference. And nothing brings communities together like Little League.
In my back, I have two curves, one at the top and one at the bottom. The one at the bottom was at 27 degrees and the one at the top was at 48. So they only put the metal rod in my top curve. Before I went into surgery, I was 5'7", and when I came out, I was 5'9".
She came to us from Virginia right about the time that her physical therapy was winding down. We've always been there supporting her. She wants to do damage to the softball when she bats, and you'll see it when she goes up to bat.
I enjoy watching her play and progress. I think she's going to be an amazing player as she starts putting all the pieces together.
Right now, softball is the only sport I would ever want to play.
And this, Damari Harris earlier, the base hit that she had. Pretty nice piece of hitting, Amanda.
Oh, yeah. You can see that bottom half just get her swing going, and then great connection, just locked in with that foundation. And swinging does put so much pressure on your back, and you're torquing your back. Pitching too. Damari Harris is also a pitcher, and that is a lot of pressure on your back, but you'd love to have that height both at the plate and in the pitching circle. And she's gotten taller and has been through something that a lot of us will never ever know.
A very bright, positive young woman that we've heard from, and one of the cool things that we saw, picture of the LSU softball stadium she carries in her softball bag. Told us that in her questionnaire as a new pitcher out there. Kayla Giardina is a big fan of LSU softball, and one day potentially could be suiting up for the Bayou Bengals.
Oh.
Kylie Cooper,
2-1.
fan of the Ole Miss red, white, and blue, although she does don the maroon of Mississippi State.
Foul.
It's probably just brain memory for you when you see
oh yeah,
the box score, the box and the maroon. I'm thinking Bulldogs, Mississippi State.
I just want the state to roll off my tongue when you see that maroon.
2-2. Play.
Tyler Denning, Amanda Scarborough here. This is an elimination game. The loser will head home. The winner will advance to play against Texas East in the nightcap. That winner will face off against Texas West in the championship game, high noon tomorrow, live on LHN. The winner of that goes to Portland. So strikeout recorded. Kylie Cooper, 9-hole hitter. So still first time through the lineup for Mississippi.
One out.
Mary Evelyn Hosley got it started off great for Vicksburg. First at bat of the ball game. Ripped one out to left field and toured the bases and inside the park home run.
Foul. Through the ball.
Let's go back to that swing from Hosley.
Yeah, she must have seen Jen Smith do it to the right side of the field yesterday and want to come up and do it herself, because this is how she led off the game. Inside the park home run down the left field line. There's been 2 extra base hits for Mississippi in this regional, and they've both been inside the park home runs.
Thank you.
It's been a tournament record. 4 home runs, 3 inside the park. 1 has left the park. That was from Carter in the game earlier today.
Play. Ball.
Ball cut onto the ground. The third play made for out number 2.
It's a nice play there by Ava Burkett. It's a good player that they have, Louisiana, with Ava Burkett up at the plate, out on defense. She plays hard.
Show me your center field skills now.
Have seen a ton of substitutions here.
And moving to first base, number 5.
Louisiana, with the runs that they've scored, potentially could bring a run rule scenario into play, but mandatory play still needing to occur. Also just wanting to get some players some action, different defensive positions potentially for Louisiana. Louisiana with 14 players on their roster, so I know it's a lot there, but look at the second bullet point. Each player must bat once, so not having the 6 consecutive outs restriction does Louisiana. Mississippi with 12 does have to do such. Generally around the 3rd, 4th innings is when you start to see in and out, and it puts our eyeballs and scorecards and defensive lineups through the eraser ringer. Jill Smith. With the count 2-1. A strike from Giardina.
2-2.
And all the Louisiana pitchers on their staff, they're just quality pitchers. They have so much depth on their staff, and they have a young staff. You can tell they put in a lot of work on their own.
Payoff pitch gets her looking. So a 1-2-3 defensive inning for the new pitcher, Kayla Giardina. Louisiana's leads by 12.
Fran, come on, follow through. Let's go.
Thanks, Coach.
Get those dogs rolling. Get them rolling.
Okay, Coach. Well, guys, I think I'm going to go. I'm going to fold.
SPF 60. Way to go. Really good job.
Hey, Joe, do you want to try some of my homemade guacamole?
It needs more salt.
It does need more salt.
He's known as the father of the revolutionary lithium-ion battery that powers everything from laptops to cell phones to electric cars.
I found my own scientific voice. I was off running from there.
An emeritus professor at UT's Cockrell School of Engineering, he's pioneered battery technology that's now industry standard, and in 2011 was awarded the Medal of Science by President Obama. For a lifetime of exceptional innovation, Dr. John B. Goodenough. He's a Longhorn legend.
No clock in baseball, they say, but time is ticking away. A sense of urgency in the air whenever these teams meet. Amplified, intensified, the rivalry and the pennant race heating up together. Passion soaring, tempers flaring, hitters mashing, aces dealing, moments of consequence, games that just mean a little bit more. Can you feel it? Sunday Night Baseball, Cubs Cardinals, tomorrow at 8 on ESPN. Telecast presented by Taco Bell.
13-1 the score as we head to the bottom of the third inning. Louisiana's turn at the plate. Well, focused on fun, fitness, and fundamentals. The Little League journey starts with T-ball. Visit littleleague.org/T-ball for the 10-week practice plan to keep the youngest Little Leaguers moving, having fun, and learning the games of baseball and softball. Is that an octopus or a lobster?
It's a crawfish.
It's a crawfish. That's a long tail for a crawfish. Looks more like a lobster. And I'm a big crawfish guy.
Wait, well, maybe I'm wrong. I just assumed crawfish with Louisiana.
Well, crawfish only have two, right? Big arms. And then Louisiana, the last 4 innings, we'll Google a picture. Been very good. They have shortened their last game against Colorado when they scored 5 in the second. It's a new pitcher in the circle. No longer Sarah Cameron Fancher for Vicksburg. It's Mary Evelyn Hosley that has come in. Natalie Bonvillian.
3-0.
1 for 4 in the regional.
Ball.
Now batting, number 6, Ava Burkett.
Mentioned Ava Burkett when she was out in the field and what she's done at the plate. Has impressed you. 5 for 8. Reached twice via air. This one out to second. Great grab made. Ranging back and doubles off the runner. Beautiful play by Jill Smith at second.
Smith goes back on this ball so well. And good communication by her infield to let her know that the runner at first base had drifted off a little bit too far. And that they could get that out at 1. And a good pick by the first baseman. To finish the play.
That's Lexi Kistler now over at first base. So Mississippi moving a bunch of parts around as well defensively.
3-0.
Jill Smith sliding over from shortstop over to second to make that grab. Sarah Cameron Fancher going back to shortstop where we had seen her start. Reagan Thornell over at third. Outfield remains the same. Jackson behind home. Up high the pitch from Hosley. Strike 2.
3-2.
Payoff pitch. Ball 4.
Now batting, number 23.
Reagan Porsche sends that ball foul.
Oh, 1. Play. Ball. Oh.
Low for ball 2.
2-1.
That's sent to second. Jill Smith flips over to Sarah Cameron Fancher for out number 3. Vicksburg will head to the plate. They need runs in the top of the 4th inning.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call 800-614-8417.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks, destroying CPAP germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Call now, 800-614-8417. Or visit SoClean.com today.
With a fine arts degree from UT, he launched his spectacular career as a Broadway performer, director, and choreographer. He's the only person to win Tony Awards in 4 different categories. He has 10 in all, including a Lifetime Achievement Award.
On with the show!
And he's been invited to perform for 3 U.S. presidents. For tapping his way into our hearts and entertaining audiences for decades, Tommy Tune. He's a Longhorn legend.
12-run advantage for Louisiana as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Mississippi needing at least 3 runs as the run rule could be in effect if a team is ahead by 10 or more after the 4th, being that Louisiana is the home team. The game would be declared. That would be beneficial to Louisiana, having to play another game, shorten this one and get out of the hot sun. Chance to catch their breath, hydrate. Were they to get 3 outs here without allowing those 3 runs to score, the winner, they would be playing against Texas East for a spot in tomorrow's championship game. That game will be 5 o'clock Central, live here on LHN. Giardina come to the circle. 2nd inning, she has been there. Jen Smith, Cameron Morrison, and Abby Morgan, 3, 4, 5. The hitters due up for Mississippi. We've seen some theatrics for the group from Vicksburg. Hope to see another representative from the state of Mississippi next year. It's on the ground to Manganello.
You mean at their state level?
Absolutely, yeah. And then back here, you figure that Vicksburg would come back up here, but hoping that it grows at the state level. But this is the first time we've seen a team from Mississippi since 2004, so hopefully the Little League programs continue to grow and they see the opportunity to play in this tournament.
Yeah.
We get to see them and tell their stories come next season. Lexi Kistler coming in to hit in the spot of Cameron Morrison.
Oh. One. Oh.
Foul! This ball sent foul up the 3rd base line.
Going back to that Louisiana deep pitching staff of 4 different pitchers, Only just that one 12-year-old, which is Lauren Mounts, who's been here for the past 3 years, and then the other 3 are younger. So likely if Louisiana were to make it back next year and they continue to play with the league, that we might see them again and get to see their growth next year. Really talented for their age, too. I've been impressed with the spin that Giardina has in the circle. She's smooth, has a deceptive release where it looks like the spin creates some late movement for her through the zone.
2-2 pitch. And sent to second, porch there for out number 2. Well, mentioned the run rule, so now 1 out away by virtue of that 12-run lead. Second bullet is 10 runs or more after the 4th inning, so the top half of the 4th would be complete with 1 more out, and Louisiana would move on. Face off against Texas East in the nightcap. Reagan Thornell at the plate to represent the final out for Vicksburg.
Oh, 2, got time.
One of the things, Amanda, that's really caught your eye as well over these last handful of days is the overall quality of play. Granted, we've talked about sending the champion of this regional off and winning, but the teams as a whole, especially what we've seen from this Vicksburg team making their first appearance, it seems that we've had really good pitching, really good catching, some clean play defensively.
Yeah, a lot of fight, too. I feel like the most fight that we've seen out of all of these teams.
The play as a whole at a very high level. This the first year we've been able to cover every single ball game. As that ends, strike 3, Louisiana gets 13 runs and ends it early to book their spot in the nightcap and a spot potentially in the championship. How about the Louisiana offense?
Yeah, they just keep rolling. Swinging the bat really hard, making good contact, and they're aggressive. They're not taking a lot of pitches. They're making a pitcher pay for some mistakes and even hitting some good quality pitcher's pitches too, but bringing that confidence again into another elimination game that they'll have here in about an hour and 45 minutes.
So Louisiana victorious. We'll be back to wrap this one up and preview the game we'll see this evening in a moment.
Told you we should have gone Schlotzsky's.
Schlotzsky's. Go with your gut. Official sandwich of the Texas Longhorns.
Starts early around here, and it's hard work. But when did that ever stop you? It's good to have ASCO and reliable case construction equipment backing you up. Doesn't matter what's in front of you, you gotta get it done. And ASCO has genuine case parts and service to make it through the job. Buy it, rent it, or lease it. ASCO has it. Yes, sir. A cup of coffee and a good pair of gloves will get you started. ASCO will keep you going.
When you rent a car on Turo, you're renting from a real person. No shuttle rides, no waiting in line, and no wandering a car lot. This is better than your typical car rental. This is Turo. Download the app today.
Remember, your first throw. Your first tag. Your first try. Your first teacher. Your first team. It all starts with T. Little League T-Ball. Find your league now at playlittleleague.org.
So the final in 3.5 innings, Louisiana 13, Mississippi 1. Mississippi will head home. Louisiana will move on. 3 teams remain. Texas West has the remainder of the day off. They're already in the championship. And Texas East will face off against Louisiana. 5 Central live on LHN to put one of those teams into the championship. Tyler Denning, Amanda Scarborough here to wrap it up. And Amanda, this Louisiana offense, we saw it against Colorado in a run rule victory. They carried that over against Mississippi.
Yeah, they sure did. I mean, they put up double-digit runs down in back-to-back games. They should be feeling so good in the box. But it's not just in the box that they're looking good. They're looking good in the circle. They're playing good defense. No errors that last game. This is a Louisiana team that is feeling good and does not want to go home.
They get to end this one early, too, and that maybe makes a difference. They get a little extra time off in between games.
Majorly going to help, especially because of the fact that it's triple-digit temperatures out here today, and they get to play 2 games, but for them, that's just more at-bats that they get to have at the plate. Everybody continues to get on the action. I mean, there is just quality at-bat after quality at-bat. Damari Harris, Ava Burkett, you just can't even get her out. RBI after RBI. They're having fun out there and scoring a lot of runs for their pitching and defense.
How about for Texas East? They lose that game against Texas West to start off this day. What's the process for them to get their minds right for this game coming up?
Well, thankfully for them, they have 2 games in one day too, but they had a little bit of a break. But I looked to see Carly Mathis in the circle for them. She had 12 strikeouts in her first game here in the Southwest Regional. We didn't see her earlier today. They saved her for this elimination game for this exact moment, and she's the type of player that steps up in those type of elimination games. You want her to have the ball in the circle.
So 3 teams remain. We will trim one more, an elimination game coming your way. 5 o'clock Central on LHN. It will be a battle between Texas East and neighbor Louisiana. Winner of that one will be in tomorrow's championship game. Louisiana dominant over Mississippi 13-1. Coming up next will be LHN Stories. We will see you at 5 Central back here in Waco. Louisiana against Texas East.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call 800-614-8417.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks, destroying CPAP germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Call now, 800-614-8417. Or visit SoClean.com today.
From the first pitch to the final swing, we are a team. The most valuable player doesn't always wear a uniform. Everyone has a position. Everyone makes a difference. And nothing brings communities together like Little League.
This is the greatest day of my life.
Get away. Do not think you can escape them at night or early in the morning. The eyes of Texas are upon you till Gabriel blows his horn. Woo! Sorry, y'all. Old habit.
She's a PhD graduate in linguistics who was named president of UT El Paso in 1988. In more than 40 years at UTEP, she's focused on access to education, doubling enrollment and adding more than $350 million to the budget, making UTEP best in the nation for first-generation college students, and placing her among Time Magazine's 100 most influential people.
Your education is your ticket to the future. Don't take it for granted.
Dr. Natalicio. She's a Longhorn legend.
No clock in baseball, they say, but time is ticking away. A sense of urgency in the air whenever these teams meet. Amplified, intensified, the rivalry and the pennant race heating up together. Passion soaring, tempers flaring, hitters mashing, aces dealing, moments of consequence, games that just mean a little bit more. Can you feel it? Sunday Night Baseball, Cubs Cardinals, tomorrow at 8 on ESPN. Telecast presented by Taco Bell.
There was times where I doubted will I be able to
live a normal life. When I heard that, I got a sick feeling in my stomach just because of the journey that I've been on.
I used to grab anything, golf club, a broomstick, and start just swinging and hitting everything from cans to plastic golf balls to actual golf balls to rocks to anything.
For Matt Coleman is no good. He missed all three.
I'm devastated because I felt like if we lose this game, it's because of me. It's because of me. It was just a sickening feeling.
There's something different about him, always making people around him laugh, and people gravitated towards him.
The bond between Connor and Shane is a forever bond.
I'm Alex Loeb, and welcome into LHN Stories. On the left wrist of Texas quarterback Shane Buechele rests a small reminder of someone who had an incredibly big impact on Buechele's life. A friend who was once inseparable from the quarterback. That is, until just a few years ago when Buechele experienced a loss like he had never felt before.
I met Connor in kindergarten. We were in different classes. We were always racing back and forth on the playground and always having a good time.
They played Little League football together. Shane was the quarterback. Connor was one of the receivers. Connor was a lot of fun. Always had a smile on his face. Just loved people, loved to be around other people. Life of the party.
You could come in sad for some reason one day and he'll pick your energy right up and make you the happiest kid in the world. There's something different about him, always making people around him laugh, and people gravitated towards him. That energy that he had, I gravitated towards it too. Our bond was pretty close, all the way from kindergarten, all the way up till that day.
That day, August 31st, 2012. 15-year-old Connor Gage was experiencing his first taste of high school athletics.
Come on, Connor! Push it, Connor! Push it! It was a normal day. It was a normal Friday. And Connor was running his first varsity cross-country meet with his brother that morning. And that afternoon, he got invited to a birthday party. It was 5 boys and a family who went out to Possum Kingdom Lake.
We got a phone call later that night, and it was one of Connor's friends that told us that there had been an accident at the lake.
He did a jump from the top of the boat dock, and he landed badly, and he didn't resurface. And at first, his friends thought he was joking around, but they quickly figured out that he was not there. We drove frantically out to Mineral Wells. We arrived at 10:30, and we learned Connor was gone.
Worst night of my life, worst moment of my life. It was surreal. We were in a fog for a long time, just kind of surviving.
As a parent, you cannot absorb the fact that your child may actually not be breathing while you're still breathing. It's an insult to hear my heartbeat. It's an insult to see the sunshine, because he's not here. You know where I'm sitting, Brad?
I know.
Okay. I never sit on this couch. Ever. Because this is where I found out, right here.
I remember hearing about it, and you think it's not real that a guy like that just passed away. I just remember seeing it, hearing it, and then just thinking that no, it's not real.
We had a bracelet made with Connor's name on it, with his birthday and the day we lost him. And it says, "Never forget" on the inside.
A friend of ours from Arlington sent us a text one night, and it was when Shane was at Lamar. He had caught a shot of Shane's wrist, and I was like, holy cow, he's wearing Connor's bracelet.
We go into Shane's senior year, he's still wearing that bracelet. This is 4 years later. Life was kind of frozen for us in a lot of ways. So anybody that could do something to help us remember Connor meant a lot to us. And Shane did that by wearing that bracelet.
It's the season opener of the 2016 college football season. The answer to the question everybody wanted to know, it will be Shane Buechele who will open at quarterback for the Longhorns.
During the Notre Dame game last year, my mom said that the sun was like shining through the clouds, and there was something where you could see my bracelet. And then she was like, yeah, that's Connor looking down on you on your first game. And, she almost brought me to tears because that's so special to me and special to my family and his family as well. It's a daily thing where I see it and I think about it. And just having the opportunity to honor him, throughout my life, whenever I'm on the field, off the field, with just something like this, people say it's something small, but to me, it's a lot bigger than just a bracelet.
Shane honors Connor's life by the fact that he chooses to remember him. And I think that the bond between Connor and Shane is a forever bond.
Still to come on LHN Stories, he's a millionaire 10 times over and one of the most humble guys you will ever meet. The inspiring story of Jonathan Vegas is up next. And speaking of being inspired, one college hoops player's heartfelt message to Andrew Jones is on the way.
The fact that there was no blueprint in my recovery and return to the court, it factored into me writing this letter because I wanted to be that blueprint for Andrew.
I've got one. It's it was something I put down on paper. Running. Hold the ball, hit the hole. Defensive back, too small, little guy. Boom! Those your friends? Boom! Boom! Hearts breaking. Touchdown! Touchdown! Touchdown. Woo! Touchdown, Ricky! Yeah! Woo! Woo!
This Texas graduate led a team of scientists to a groundbreaking moment in physics, directly detecting ripples in the fabric of space-time.
We have detected gravitational waves. We did it.
By observing these gravitational waves, more than 1 billion light years from Earth, he and his team confirmed a major prediction of Einstein's theory of general relativity. For his role in revealing a new way to explore the universe, David Wrightsey, he's a Longhorn legend.
No clock in baseball, they say, but time is ticking away. A sense of urgency in the air whenever these teams meet. Amplified, intensified, the rivalry and the pennant race heating up together. Passion soaring, tempers flaring, hitters mashing, aces dealing, moments of consequence, games that just mean a little bit more. Can you feel it? Sunday Night Baseball, Cubs-Cardinals, tomorrow at 8 on ESPN. Telecast presented by Taco Bell.
Today at Whataburger, we're cooking the sweet and spicy bacon burger.
The sweet and spicy bacon burger is my all-time favorite.
I love this burger. It's just perfect.
2 beef patties, 2 different types of cheese, caramelized onions. My favorite thing about this burger is the sweet and spicy pepper sauce and the bacon. You get it in every bite.
Nothing beats this.
The sweet and spicy bacon burger is an all-time favorite at Whataburger.
That's happiness.
When you rent a car on Turo, you're renting from a real person. No shuttle rides, no waiting in line, and no wandering a car lot. This is better than your typical car rental. This is Turo. Download the app today.
17 years after graduating with a degree in fine arts, this playwright won the Pulitzer Prize in Drama. He's written in excess of 15 full-length musicals and plays and been nominated for 3 Emmys and 1 Oscar for the film Hacksaw Ridge. In 2014, he brought home a Tony Award for Best Play with All the Way.
What a thrill to bring this American story, our story, to the Broadway stage.
Robert Schenken. He's a Longhorn legend.
This is the greatest day of my life.
Beyond the brick facade and bustle of more than 3,000 Jester Hall residents lives a hidden campus treasure, a place where learning is omnipresent, even if it goes unnoticed.
We're in the Gallery of Texas Cultures, and it features all the cultures of Texas, both the ethnic cultures and then the cultures that make Texans unique. And the whole idea of where we are comes from the idea of a learning theory called situated cognitions, where we try to maximize on the concept that people learn where they are from their environment. And so our emphasis at the beginning was to show how diverse each one of us are and how diverse this state is.
The museum doubles as a study lounge.
It's just really relaxing being able to come downstairs from your dorm room, put all your stuff out on one of the big tables, and just listen to someone play. Whenever the room is sort of just a few people in here and it's really quiet, they usually play more slow-tempo music, I've noticed. But then when things are a little rowdy, they sort of play into that.
Let's make it engaging and let's make it fun. The serendipity effect of having these environments where our students casually walk and casually visit and casually study gives impact and gives meaning to it. It's part of the Texas culture.
Cole McCoy. What's up, buddy? Good seeing you, bud.
You get to whoop me in golf again.
It's all right. This is your field, so your rule.
All right, Johnny.
What do we got, buddy?
We are up in the bleachers here at DKR, through the uprights, onto the Longhorn logo at the 50-yard line. Probably like a 115, 120 shot.
Yeah, 100 yards.
Something like that.
Yeah.
If there's anybody that can do it, I know you can.
Here we go. Let's do it. Get it harder. Should do it.
It looks good. I like it.
No! Okay, you got the line.
Oh, that's all over it.
You got the line. Go!
Right through the uprights. True pro right here.
There you go.
True pro.
Yeah, sometimes we get lucky.
He's been beating me on the golf course since 2005. Uh-oh.
Oh! Did it go in? Boom!
I mean, he's a professional golfer.
What? Oh! Ah!
I gave it my best
Well
effort.
done, buddy. Well done.
Done a lot of things in this stadium, but I've never brought my clubs out here.
It's coming, buddy.
Okay, ready, go.
Got it. You got it? Oh!
It's user error over here. User error. One more. One more.
Okay, last one. Hail Mary. Last one, baby. Boom. Well done. Well done, buddy.
Well, long before he was hitting trick shots with Colt McCoy and earning over $10 million as a pro golfer, lifetime Longhorn Jonathan Vegas was a shy 17-year-old who arrived in the United States not knowing a single word of English, separated from his parents almost 3,000 miles from home.
Here we go. This is Jonathan Vegas. This is important to him. Big reward. Yeah, he'll take that. Thank you. Goodness, how did he do that?
My dad, grew up near a golf course in Caracas, the capital of Venezuela. And, he kind of developed the love for the game, kind of working, picking up range balls and all that stuff as a little kid. I have 4 brothers. We got into it, started playing. So it became a family theme, where we all play, every day was about playing golf together and trying to beat each other. I used to grab anything, a golf club, a broomstick, a piece of stick that I would find on a tree or something, and start just swinging and hitting everything from cans to plastic golf ball to actual golf balls, to rocks, to anything. Obviously I broke a couple of windows and stuff like that around the house, which it wasn't nice, but just really learn golf, just picking up things and swinging it.
After finishing high school in Venezuela, Vegas followed his golf coach to Houston and began competing in junior tournaments where he caught the eye of John Fields.
When I came here, I didn't speak that much English, and it was a journey pretty much of growing up and being able to learn through school but life at the same time for me. The passion of the university to make every student athlete better or every student better, prepares you to what's coming. For a school, that's exactly what you're looking for. I remember one of my first classes was a communication class where I had to give speeches, and my English wasn't quite as good at that time, and just learning to go through some of that and working hard, which at the end of the day pay off to lead me to where I am right now.
Vegas turned pro in 2008, but didn't earn his PGA Tour card until 2011, the first Venezuelan to do so. After earning his pro card, almost simultaneously, he earned his first win on the PGA Tour.
It's really hard getting to the PGA Tour. Winning is even hard. My first year coming out, and just having success, having that win, my second tournament as a PGA Tour member, it was just huge.
Viva Johnny Vegas.
Because of all the time, all the things that I've gone through to get to that point, to that moment. Obviously it was really emotional. It was a lot of fun, and I still remember it, and I still feel, making that putt to win.
Vegas has since added 2 more wins to his resume, but pride in his heritage is always on display when he's on the course.
Something that I feel proud of, being able to carry my country's flag around the world and, put it, in my case, on the biggest stage of golf in the world. So, something that I take, really seriously. I try to do it as well as I can, obviously, to show some of the Venezuelan kids that are coming up that there's a way and they can be successful too, and that it's not strange to have a Venezuelan flag on the top of the golf world.
Coming up on LHN Stories, what an emotional year it's been for Andrew Jones. We share with you the letter one college basketball player wrote to Jones when learning of his cancer diagnosis. And one of Jones's teammates and good friends who stepped up while he was out reflects on the great lengths Shaka Smart went to recruit him.
I would get fake car keys, some type of representation of here's the key, this is going to be, your program, do you want it?
When you rent a car on Turo, you're renting from a real person. No shuttle rides, no waiting in line, and no wandering a car lot. This is your rental counter. And this is you, already on the road. With Turo, this is compact, standard, and full size. This is better than your typical car rental. This is Turo. Download the app today.
I can't believe they charged me this much. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Go to CashNetUSA.com now. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow.
Thanks. Who are you?
I'm CashNetUSA.com. Man.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Starts early around here, and it's hard work. But when did that ever stop you? It's good to have ASCO and reliable case construction equipment backing you up. Doesn't matter what's in front of you, you gotta get it done. And ASCO has genuine case parts and service to make it through the job. Buy it, rent it, or lease it. ASCO has it. Yes, sir. A cup of coffee and a good pair of gloves will get you started. ASCO will keep you going.
So I choke on the sun, and the days blur into one in the backs of my eyes. leaves are swaying from an old clothesline, like a row of captured crows or old dead grass. There's never much, but we've made the most. Welcome
Great support for Andrew Jones, the sophomore from Irving, Texas. Found out he's battling leukemia.
He's been missed by this program, and they just dedicate everything they do to him.
It's Andrew. We're all fighting with you each and every day. I mean, this is who we are together as a unit. And you have this whole crowd behind you.
Read your tweet from Andrew. He said, #BOU. And he said, I'd like to thank everyone for the support and love. I'm doing a lot better and still fighting.
Oh, he's going to go to the league. Yeah, he's going to go to the NBA. He's going to beat this.
His jersey, his presence. Every time we break the huddle for a game, we know our why. And he's our why.
Well, from the moment he was diagnosed with leukemia, Andrew Jones has received an outpouring of support from just about everyone imaginable across the sports world, including one young man in particular who has walked the very path that Jones is currently on. Tom Rinaldi has more.
Dear Andrew, I had just finished practice when a text message from my mom popped up on my phone. That was how I learned there was another college basketball player about to begin the fight with leukemia that I've waged for the past year. When I heard that, I got a sick feeling in my stomach. I didn't really know how to process that right away because of the journey that I've been on. And just hearing that, it was tough to process at first.
10 months ago, in the weeks following his sophomore season at Division III New Paltz College in eastern New York, Nick Paquette was diagnosed with leukemia.
I was asking my mom if I would live through this, and at the time she didn't know the answers. Nobody knew the answers, and it was just terrifying. There was points during that where I felt too weak to even stay awake in my bed. Like I just wanted to pass out. I felt like I had no energy at all. I felt like I wasn't even gonna make it to the next day, honestly. My bones would ache all day long. Like it would just hurt to stand up. It would hurt to sit down. There was times where I doubted, will I be able to continue to live a normal life?
When things were at their worst, Nick found comfort in basketball.
It was there the whole time. It was honestly, it was on my mind 24/7. Like when I was in the hospital, it was the NBA playoffs, and I was watching ball. It was keeping my spirits lifted up. The steps I took during my recovery process, the first thing I did, I walked back out in my driveway, just took 10 free throws. My dad rebounded for me, and then when I took those 10, I was exhausted. So I went back inside, and then the next day I came back out, shot a couple more. And then the next day I shot a couple more. And then gradually that led to me doing more and more physical activity. The whole time I was really thinking about when would I be able to return back to the court. And I wasn't going to let this stop me from doing that at all. I had it set in my mind that I would come back and play.
The hard work paid off. Nick returned to the court in November, 7 months after being diagnosed with leukemia. A few weeks later, he learned of Andrew Jones' diagnosis.
Our stories were so similar. I kind of understood his struggle in a way. I know what he's going through is very difficult, but I felt like I could relate to it just because of my experience with leukemia in the past year. I'd like to think my story can provide you strength, inspiration, and above all else, hope. I'm sure it was tough to hold it together when you learned you had leukemia, Andrew. Honestly, for me, it was terrifying. Battling leukemia has provided me with a sense of perspective that I lacked before. The fact that there was no blueprint in my recovery and return to the court, it factored into me writing this letter because I wanted to be that blueprint for Andrew. I wanted to let him know that there's hope, there's people out there like you, there's someone's story that you could look to for inspiration and hope as you're fighting through your struggle. My prayers are with you, Andrew. I sincerely hope your fight against leukemia has the same outcome mine has.
And UT has announced that more than $200,000 have been raised to support Jones's family and their medical costs. As for one of Andrew Jones's friends who stepped up for the Longhorns in his absence, Matt Coleman came of age late in his freshman season as the point guard averaged nearly 19 points per contest during the final month of the year after coming to Texas as a highly touted recruit from the East Coast.
I grew up around the game of basketball. My dad was a Division III college coach at a local apprentice school in Virginia. I remember seeing pictures of me when I was younger, shooting on the Fisher-Price hoop, then moving up to the Nerf hoop on the back of the door, and then playing for the YMCA at the age 4 on the little hoop. I remember always having a ball in my hand at a young age. Looking back at it, I'm glad that I grew up in a basketball environment.
It wasn't long before Texas freshman point guard Matt Coleman was noticed on the court. When he was 13, the first offers started to pour in.
I received my first college offer from Old Dominion, and then following that was UVA, then it was VCU. I've known Coach Smart for going on 6 years now, since I was an 8th grader, since he started recruiting me. I was around him due to the fact of he was at VCU, and that wasn't that far from where I lived. And I remember him coming to recruit me, on AAU trips.
Coleman was offered by some of the top schools in the nation, including Kansas and Duke, but something about Coach Shaka Smart stood out.
The biggest thing that went into, my decision was, one, the relationship with Coach, and I knew that I was going to be his guy, and the trust he had in me. I would get fake car keys, some type of representation of here's the key and it's yours to take. So it was a reoccurring image in my head. It was a reoccurring message, from the coaching staff. It was this is going to be, your program. Do you want it?
Coleman accepted the challenge and joined Texas's 2017 top 10 recruiting class. After a solid start to the season, one moment in particular has stuck with him. In Lubbock, with 2:33 to play and Texas up 4, Coleman was fouled shooting a three-pointer.
I think I'm shooting 80% from the free throw line in Big 12 play. And I'm going to the line, and before every shoot around, I make 10 free throws in a row. And it was on that same rim, that same hoop. So I'm going to the line.
The first one, too strong off the back iron.
I'm okay, I'm not gonna miss the next two.
Here's the second one for Coleman. This one is also off the rim, and he can't believe it. He just said, wow. I'm not sure we've seen Matt miss 2 in a row this season. The third one for Matt Coleman is no good. He missed all 3.
I'm devastated because I felt if we lose this game, it's because of me. It's because of me. And it was just a sickening feeling.
Evans, yes! Game over!
Got back. Coach was I'll take you to the dorm. So I got in the car with him. He took me to the dorm, and it was quiet, till the last 2 minutes. And he was just how you feel? I can't say what I said, but I was Coach, I feel something. And he started laughing, and he was just it's okay. He was the best thing about this is it's a learning experience. If you don't learn from it, then it's a waste. But if you take this experience and you learn from it, then it will only make you better. So then I got out the car, I went to my room, dropped my stuff off, and I got right back out. I walked here to the gym and went and shot free throws, shot 100 free throws. Then I shot 3 free throws at each goal. And then I'm recreating the moment in my head. I didn't go to sleep till around like 4 o'clock that morning.
The late-night shooting session paid off. In his next game, Coleman scored a career-high 22 points in a win over then 12th-ranked Oklahoma.
Nice crossover, and then Coleman buries the three to bring them to their feet here in Austin. Driving Coleman. It'll go! Coleman driving, gets it to go! Well, how about the maturity of Matt Coleman, the freshman? The lefty is really growing up right in front of our eyes.
He made 4 consecutive free throws in the final 2 minutes to help clinch the victory.
Me and Coach talk about a lot of things, how I should be connected and always playing with joy, how the great players have humility mixed with confidence. So I think the biggest thing we got after that was having the humility and then also having the confidence to just go out and just play. On the court, I want to be known as one of the best point guards to walk through the University of Texas. I remember that was like one of the recruiting tactics. The University of Texas, placed it in front of me, and I was like, I can do that. I have that ability to be one of the best point guards in the country.
And that will do it for this edition of LHN Stories. I'm Alex Loeb. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
What starts here changes the world. It's a simple, yet powerful and prideful message, a calling that reverberates among the Longhorn community, wherever they may be. Perhaps no one embodied that slogan more fittingly than Walter Cronkite.
We're all used to the anchor person now sort of directing the news. And Walter pioneered that anchor position. And he's often considered to be the first, anchor man.
We are going to bring in Lowell Thomas, who was here just a moment ago. Everywhere where the news breaks, you find Lowell Thomas, of course, and election night is no exception in CBS television headquarters.
His background was journalism. He was a real news reporter. And because of that, it was important in the history of television news that there was a legitimate news person who was directing television news.
This is Walter Cronkite reporting from the island of Malta in the Mediterranean.
His credibility was unassailable. At one point, he was considered to be the most trusted man in America.
Now a tribute to Cronkite's legacy is on display every evening at the Communications School. And That's the Way It is a visual archive of actual transcripts from Cronkite's broadcasts, combined with current news events, keeping Cronkite's signature sign-off forever linked to the university that was such an integral part of his storied life.
I got to be very close to Cronkite in his last 20 years of his life. And every time I saw him, one of the first things he had asked me is what's going on campus. What are the students up to? What do you think about the faculty? What are we teaching? How are people learning? He had a real hands-on interest in this university and what was going on here and what could we do better. It was an intense and honest and sincere interest. I mean, he was very interested in this university.
In the heart of campus lives a unique blend of ingenuity, dedication, and brilliance. But on the 4th floor of the Engineering Science Building is something truly special. It's called the Wireless Networking and Communications Group, and it's where 5 faculty and 10 grad students are working tirelessly to create a preemptive solution to the burgeoning gridlock on the global wireless network.
Video is becoming a huge fraction of internet traffic, and more people are using their smartphones or their laptops or their tablets to watch video. Streamed video or two-way video. It's eating up all the bandwidth.
Cisco believes that the video traffic may increase over the next 4 to 5 years by as much as 50 to 100 times.
We want to figure out how we can send more video in the same resources that we have today, but do it in a much more efficient way.
In recent years, we've been learning a lot about the brain and how it processes visual information, and specifically how humans judge quality of what they observe into algorithms. Okay, not just theory, but algorithms that can be brought into devices like cell phones and tablets, but also into the network.
So we're developing models that help us predict, for a given amount of video distortion, how a person might perceive the quality of that video. We ask people to, in a very controlled setting, to observe videos and grade the video as they're watching it.
What we want to be is relevant to human judgments, to evaluate different types of video quality, different types of distortions on the video, to see how people respond so that we can have models that are pertinent to what people will actually experience.
We have a framework in place that can take, any video and extract this kind of information that will then allow us to send it more efficiently.
Featuring the biggest names and the best stories in sports, the following is a presentation of E60.
In Kansas City Chiefs football history.
I love Jamal Charles' game. It was some tape I was watching. He's leaving defenders in the dust.
He wants to be the best ever. That's what he wants to be.
Charles off tackle, turns that speed loose. They're not going to catch him. It's going to be touchdown, Kansas City.
Jamal Charles is one of the best stories in sports.
Growing up, I wasn't very smart. I remember my cousin picking on me, talking about, you ain't gonna never go nowhere.
Jamal breaks loose. Touchdown, Texas.
Stay with me.
Tragedy off the Chiefs football field.
He blamed himself totally.
Jamal loves what he does, but going to Arrowhead is difficult every single time.
20, 15, 10, and Charles finds the promised land.